drywall taping of the Traxxas X-MAXX body shell. Just put on these couple of pieces here. I'm going to continue going along, doing the rest of the body, and then we're going to elastic glue the rest, the shoe glue equivalent. I'm going to build up the lower spots to give it a bit more support. So these little indentations here are going to be built up with smaller strips and then glued in to give extra support. Now these holes obviously are then going to become covered. We'll just re-drill those or punch holes through the holes again. So let's get going. What I'm doing is, as you can see, it's overlapping, and where necessary, I'm putting in a couple of drops of hot glue. So let's just say a little bit here, a little bit there. So where you have little changes in the level, just dab of hot glue there, along there. We'll just make sure it stays in place. So just put a little strip here. I've just cut it lengthwise, this one, and we're going to place that here. If you cut it to the right size that you need it to, I find it works slightly better that way. Instead of getting a big piece, putting it there, this has now conformed to the shape that I need it to conform to. And little dabs of hot glue is like tack welds. So we're going to lay down a long strip here, and then we'll snip it off. Sorry if I'm getting in the way of the camera. There we go. Now let's just tack it in with a little bit of hot glue. If you've got surfaces which are lower, you've got high spots and low spots, make sure to push it down into those said low spots, because it's important that you get good surface adhesion, and in order to do that you have to push it down into those spots. Let's be saving my fingers a bit. Oops, sorry about that. I think that strip has gone down quite well. Now for the next strip. So you want slight overlaps and then snip it off. This one's quite good. We'll just tack it down at the top here. There we go. And just down here. And for the next strip, let's lay it down. There we go. Dab of hot glue. Okay, looks like I need to reload my hot glue. There we go. We don't want big massive beads of hot glue, so where you see it beading, just be sure to wipe it down a little bit. Now, it'll be on the inside, so it doesn't matter if it's not neat. But still, you should try and not make massive beads of it. There we go. Right, this one's going to be a bit more trickier because it's on the curve. So sorry about that. Let's just cut it down to size. And then we'll make it conform by pushing it down. There we go. We've got to get it down into the groove. Now this is where we're going to need some hot glue for definite. There we go. Dabs in there. little bit here on the join. You see where it's been pushed down into the groove there. It's been pushed down into the groove there. So it wants to spring out, as you can see what's happening here. So when you have got it conforming to lots of different shapes, lots of changes in level, this is where you need to pay particular attention. And then the edges require hot gluing as well, because they tend to come away, as you can see. But with a liberal application of hot glue, we can remedy the situation. And as you can see, it is conforming to all the level changes, and we do have good adhesion. I've cut this one here at an angle so it can fit properly. So you cut it to whatever shape or length you need. And we hot glue it down. Here we need it to conform to this level change. And then this little groove here. Okay, I've lost my hot glue refill. Okay, let's get all these grooves conformed to. So, yep, it's conforming nicely. And make sure it's stuck down. Yeah. There we go. For some reason, this part of the drywall tape roll seems to be quite sticky and quite flexible. Maybe it's because we're getting deeper into the roll. The glue is still a lot more tacky. Whilst we were at the outside of the roll, the glue had probably dried up a little. That's why it's a lot better. As you saw, it went in quite nicely. Oops, we have a little bit of delamination here. So let's give this bit a little bit of attention. There we go. Now, just because it's stuck nicely initially doesn't mean it's going to stay stuck, because it's had to contour itself to so many different changes in level and shape that this glue on the tape just won't be enough to hold it in position. So we're just making sure that it conforms. Now once we've done that, I've bought some of this. It's edging strip. Now what I'm going to do is obviously put it on like this, and it will conform to all these shape changes and so on, as you can see. Now it attaches really nicely and firmly, but what you do is you get your CA glue or super glue and you stick a nail in the nozzle or a needle or a pin in here, and then you pour it along its length all the way down and around on both sides. So you do it from this side and from the inside and make it go all the way around. So here, as you can see, it is conforming quite nicely, but there are a lot of quite sharp shape changes which will need to be glued in place. So I've got plans for this body shell, and this makes a huge difference, this edging strip. It stops you from getting splits down the side. So once the shoe gluing is done and this edging strip is put on, I think this body shell will be as close to indestructible as you can get. Now, I picked this edging strip up from, I believe it was Amazon, and it cost £16.90, something along those lines. It may have cost a couple of quid more, but money well spent, I think. So we should be doing that once the body shell reinforcement is done. This will be the finishing touch. Now, my old body shell, which is on the car, I might sandwich it in. Let's see how much it sticks out over the edges. I might need to trim it down and put them both together. I don't know if this will make any difference, but we shall see. So we're going to be putting on an extra long strip now. Oops, I've spilt some on her table thing. My missus is going to have my guts for garters now. So let's get this chopped, if I can find the scissors. There we go. I love these scissors, heavy duty scissors. Let's cut it there. So there we go. And it has conformed. Let's snip it off it a little bit. There we go. Let's do a pressure relief cut here. Sometimes if you put little snips and cuts in, it helps it to conform to the contours and curves. All right, let's get gluing. It's a bit of a chore getting these edges glued down. They don't want to stay down, so you just got to wait for the glue to become a bit more tacky, and then it will stick. I don't really want to use my fingers, but sometimes there is no alternative. Get your fingers in there. Probably should have worn gloves, but I like to feel what I'm doing. I would advise anybody undertaking this task to wear PPE, personal protective equipment, i.e. gloves. So we want it to conform this way. There we go. Let's get some glue in there. It will stick. You just have to be patient with it sometimes. Sorry about that. I think I had the camera not on what I was doing. I do apologize. Let's get it back in view. There we go. So what we're doing is this bit here. Now this is an awkward curve. So you're going to have to, I probably would have been better doing maybe more smaller strips, but in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. I've done it now, so I have to follow through. There we go. We got there in the end. Let's put this down. Yep, it's all stuck down. And we don't want air pockets. So you have air pockets or places where it hasn't stuck. This will be weak spots. So push it all in. Make sure you have good adhesion, which I do have. All the way down. And you can see it all, I hope. So let's get some hot glue in on this portion here. Now I don't need to go too much to town with the hot glue because we will be putting the other glue, which is a lot more flexible than this hot glue stuff. So we're here, we have a significant contour change, as in it curves downwards here, and then another angle here, and then another change here. So here we're going to need a liberal application of hot glue. that seems to have done that. So here we don't need the whole width, so we cut down this way, and then we can just cut along the length of this, and hey presto, that will be this side of the middle done. And we can move along to other parts. There we go. Let's just dab a couple of drops.